What is happening, guys? Cowboy here, and welcome to the 2019 channel update. So I wanted to get this out before the new year. Definitely just barely getting it in, but I wanted to discuss the various titles we're going to be covering as we move into the 2019 year, as well as a general update in terms of the channel, new things that I'm going to be doing, things that are going to be changing, and kind of where Fightin' Cowboy as a brand is going to go moving into 2019. So to get things started off, the first thing I want to discuss are the upcoming releases I'm going to play, because that is the number one thing I get asked by all of you, is what games I am or am not going to be covering. So I got a list up of current games that have release dates and just kind of going down the list. Let's start with January. So first thing we have up is going to be Tales of Vesperia. That'll be kicking off next week. It's actually my all-time favorite Tales game, and it's getting re-released. If you remember the Tales of Berseria playthrough we did, it's going to be a game kind of similar to that, so another Let's Play style game that I'll cover until we get later into January, where we're going to have the Resident Evil 2 remake. Super excited for that game. It looks totally badass, so should be pretty sick. And then at the end of January, we have Kingdom Hearts 3. Now this one I'm on the fence with a little bit. I played Kingdom Hearts 1 and 2. That was like 8 years ago, 10 years ago maybe that those games came out. It's been a while. I'm not up to date on the story at all. I'll probably play Kingdom Hearts 3, but you know, it's just one of those games that I'm kind of like, we'll see what happens. So I'll probably get it, start it. If I'm feeling it, we'll keep with it. Otherwise, we'll just move on from there. Moving into February, one of the first things we have is the PC release of Ace Combat 7. I do plan on checking that out. My hottest has been sitting collecting dust for a while. It's a hand-on throttle and stick system. It was like $300. I used it to play Elite Dangerous for quite a while. Now it just collects dust, and Ace Combat 7 is basically the perfect game to bust that joystick back out and have a lot of fun with. As we move later into February, one of the first things we have up that's probably a lesser known release is God Eater 3. If you've never heard of God Eater, basically take Monster Hunter, mix in a little bit more anime, and instead of just monsters, make them like demon monsters. That's God Eater. So I'm probably going to end up checking it out. I've played Monster Hunter enough to the point where I think I'd probably enjoy God Eater now. So I'm curious. That'll mainly be a stream title, I'd imagine, just because it follows similar kind of flow to how Monster Hunter did. So it'll just work a lot better on stream. Moving on there, we have Crackdown 3. A lot of people have been asking for that. I don't know if I'm going to cover it, to be honest. I was never really a big fan of the Crackdown series. It's fun, but it's just kind of gimmicky, you know? So we'll see. I might do some stream coverage of it and take things from there. We have Far Cry New Dawn. That'll, of course, be getting debuted on the channel. And then Jump Force, which will mainly be a stream title. That's usually what I end up doing with fighting games. And then we have Metro Exodus. Now, that's probably my most anticipated for February. After finally playing 2333 and Last Light this most recent summer, I'm actually pretty pumped for Metro. You know, I'm really up to date on the story. I've already been in contact with the devs, kind of talking to them, making sure access is secured and all that. So Metro is going to be a major debut on the channel, and one that I'm super excited for, especially because the story is so fresh. And then we have Anthem. Now, Anthem is a game that I have been basically just kind of on the fence, back and forth, unable to decide. It looks like it'll be really cool. At the same time, I feel that it could just be another Destiny, and you guys know I'm not a big fan of Destiny. So I plan on doing some initial coverage of Anthem. If it turns out I love it, then great. Expect a ton of coverage. If it turns out it's another Destiny, well, we'll have a little minor, 15 episode Let's Play of it or something, and then it'll probably fall off the map. But time will tell when it's finally out. And then moving into March, we get the biggest release I'm looking forward to, and that is Sekiro Shadows Die Twice. I keep having people ask me, Cowboy, are you going to play Sekiro? Like, come on, man. Do bears shit in the woods? Fucking obviously I'm going to play Sekiro. That is my jam. We also have Devil May Cry 5 that month, which will be pretty awesome. But Sekiro is the main thing I'm looking forward to in March. And then after that, the releases that are actually on the books start getting less and less because there's a lot of other games coming out, but we don't have confirmed dates from them. We have Days Gone in late April. That actually looks like a pretty cool zombie simulator. We have Rage 2 in May. And then beyond that, there's a lot of stuff that just doesn't have concrete dates. You know, Neo 2, we don't have a set date for yet. Ghost of Tsushima, we don't have a set date yet. Code Vein, we don't have a set date yet. So there's a lot of stuff on the horizon. Monster Hunter World Iceborne, which let me touch on that. Iceborne I probably will be covering at launch. If it's not on PC, I'll end up covering it on PlayStation because it's going to be a G-ranked expansion. All the work that you put in ahead of time won't be worth shit you'll be getting all new gear. So the fact that I have been playing on PlayStation won't matter. I will be covering Iceborne at launch though. Then, like I said, there's a lot of other titles that don't have dates that I definitely plan on covering. But that's it for now. I mean, there's a lot of other stuff that we're kind of waiting to hear about. Beyond Good and Evil 2, Cyberpunk, Death Stranding, Elder Scrolls 6, the Final Fantasy 7 remake, all this stuff that looks cool. I'm sure there's an unannounced Pokemon game. This stuff we don't have dates for. When we have dates, I'll know more info. But come by the streams. You know the kind of shit I play. Chances are I'll end up covering just about everything I just rattled off. But moving into coverage, I want to take a moment and talk more about covering games and what I want to cover on the channel. So one thing I noticed moving into 2018 and doing the sabbatical and kind of seeing where I wanted to evolve my brand is I really want to get away from just playing every game that's announced just because it's a new game and I have a variety channel. And I want to focus more on playing games that I feel I really mesh with. And I think a really good example here is Darksiders 3 compared to Ashen. Now, when I played Ashen, immediately I fell in love with it. It obviously kind of followed that Souls formula, the open world exploration, the combat. The game had its faults, but I absolutely enjoyed every part of the journey. And I feel that really reflected in my general attitude as I played, and then subsequently was shown in the comment section. I think you guys enjoyed the Ashen playthrough a lot more. People were having fun. People were discussing cool things they found in the game. And by comparison, if I look at Darksiders 3, I went into it with a positive attitude and, just started getting more and more frustrated by mechanics in the game. And eventually, I feel like it just kind of turned into a bash festival where I was like, this is stupid, blah, 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 blah. And once again, that rubbed off in the comments. And you could see people in the comments were like, oh, this game sucks, or, you're just not giving it a fair chance. You suck, or just everyone ended up being, kind of angry. Whether you were angry at the game or angry at me because I was angry at the game. And moving forward, I want to avoid stuff like that. Now, I do think part of my issue with Darksiders 3 was that I was on sabbatical. And with the sabbatical, I was juggling, even though I didn't have the job anymore and I was focused on the channel, I was putting so much more time into the channel that I think I didn't like it. And I very much learned that I'm happy to have the day job. And while I still treat the channel as a job, I like it, 3 episodes a day tops, take my weekends off, stream Monday through Friday, enjoy my time off. I think that's important. And that was the big takeaway from the sabbatical for me, just to give a quick update on that, is that I need to have a work-life separation. And being able to use the VA job as work and then keep YouTube as something I do for fun is really important to me, I discovered. I don't want to look at YouTube as a job, even though it makes money, even though, there's stuff expected of me. I like treating it as a hobby that happens to make income, not as a career. I enjoy it a lot more. But I'm going off on a rant here. But to digress and go back to the original point, my plan moving forward is when I start a game, within the first 3 episodes, I'll give it 3 to 6 episodes. If I feel like I'm meshing with the game, I'm going to continue on with it. If I feel like I'm not meshing with it, such as like Darksiders 3, instead, I'm going to try streaming it instead. And I'll see if I enjoy the game more as a stream experience, interacting with the audience. And if I still find that I'm not enjoying the game, then I will end up dropping it out of the curriculum. Now, I'm sure that a couple games that people are looking forward to, I'll probably end up dropping and people might get upset. But at the end of the day, I think this is better for my channel. I think it's a lot better that I play stuff that I enjoy. And, when I'm playing something and it's something I enjoy, that it shows greatly in how I approach the game, my attitude, the things that I'm saying. I'm making funnier jokes. I'm making people laugh. And I'm not devolving into a, fuck this sucks. I don't want to do that. I don't like that, man. I don't need that fucking negative energy, I want to play stuff I enjoy. Life is too short to spend your time playing games that make you angry. And that's what it comes down to, is not every game is for me. A game that you like might not be a game that's good for me. And so things that I'm just not meshing with, I'm going to see if I like them more streaming. And if I don't, just drop them. So moving on from that, in terms of the type of coverage to expect, of course, there'll still be build guides here and there where applicable. One thing I actually want to do, I've been playing a buttload of Magic on stream. Finally getting into Magic the Gathering Arena. It's amazing. it's what I always wanted out of Magic. And I know I don't talk about Magic a lot on this channel, but I played Magic since I was a wee lad. I learned at like the age of 8. I've always loved Magic, played through high school, played through college. And the big drawback for Magic for me was the convenience. You know, you had to go to like the comic book shop to play. You had to have those friends that played. And Magic the Gathering Arena eliminates that. I can just jump on the game and boom, found someone to play with. It has all the standard cards. You know, everything's digital, so I don't got to worry about carrying my packs with me everywhere I go. I love it. So on that note, definitely expect a lot more Magic coverage. Not so much streams, but I'm going to be doing deck guides, looking at different deck archetypes, doing guides for some of the decks that I commonly play with, stuff like that. So it'll kind of fall into the realm of the build videos I used to do. And that brings me to the coverage point that I was making, and that's moving forward with coverage. We're still going to have guides like that. We're still going to have Let's Plays. We're still going to have walkthroughs. But one thing I'm going to be doing less of is uploading streams. Now, I've battled with this a lot over the last year, you know, uploading everything I do, more content or less content. And ultimately, I feel if I upload every single thing I do, it ends up bogging down the channel. You know, I want my channel to be known for concisely a couple of things, like funny Let's Plays, really informative walkthroughs, super informative build guides, and then one more thing, which we're going to touch on later. And I feel that just uploading every single stream I do kind of defeats that purpose. You know, it ends up being just fluff to the channel, if you will. My nose is itchy. So to that extent, what I'm going to be doing is if I'm playing a game and it's a series, something that, you know, I'm streaming over the course of a month, that's like episodic, I'll upload it to YouTube. You know, for example, if I'm playing through Ace Combat 7, but I'm playing through it on stream and I play it, you know, once a week, I'll break that into parts and I'll upload it to the channel. Something like playing Magic the Gathering for 8 hours on stream, or the other day when we played Smash for 8 hours on stream, stuff like that will just stay on stream. You know, same with For Honor. My For Honor coverage is almost all streaming. And, you know, it ends up just being these 5-6 hour long uploads to YouTube, and it doesn't really make sense, you know. And I know a lot of guys are, a lot of you guys say that you're like, you know, well, I can't make the stream and I want to see the content, and I understand that, and I'm happy that you want to see the content, but I don't feel that type of content really fits well with what I'm trying to do with my brand. I want the brand to just be a little bit more concise. I don't want just these massive long streams just slapped on the channel because, hey, I did this, come watch me for 8 hours. You know, I don't feel like it fits. I feel like it adds fluff and it bogs things down. It's sloppy. I could make a second channel potentially that's just like Fighting Cowboy streams and all my streams get uploaded, but that's a lot of work. So basically the good stuff will still be getting exported off Twitch, but the majority of long drawn out streams will end up staying on Twitch, and the series will be added to YouTube where applicable. I think that all makes sense. In terms of whether I'm going to be doing Let's Plays or walkthroughs, once again, that falls into the realm of if a game needs it. You know, Dark Souls makes a great game for a walkthrough because there's a lot of stuff that's hidden around, and there is an approach that you could, an optimal path, you could say, to get through the game. Times when you want to go off the beaten path and grab an item, times where it's better to go down one path before you go down the second path. And that's what makes Souls such a great game for walkthroughs. It's a game where the game's not going to hold your hand at all, so it helps to have somebody who can, which is what the walkthroughs are for. But then you have other games like Ashen and Neo that kind of follow the same formula, but I don't feel they fit with a walkthrough. You know, with Neo, you have the random loot. The only thing the walkthrough would really tell you is like where, you know, here's how you kill the boss, or, you know, hey, look, here's where the samurai locks are, here's where the mage locks are. But you can get that same stuff from watching the Let's Play of it. The walkthrough, it'll be a little bit faster, but part of Neo's experience, I think, is the farming and the random loot, and you don't get that in a walkthrough. You know, you don't get the same, you're not going to get the drops that I got. For example, I might get a rare sword, whereas you get a rare spear, and you change your build completely. Whereas in Souls, whether you're using a spear or a sword, it's all right, you're using a spear or a sword. At the end of the day, we're all, you know, strength, dex, or quality, or we're doing a spell build. So there's a lot less diversity, I feel, with like the skill spin, all that. And take Ashen, for example. Ashen, because of the fact that you can come to a place from the front, or go around the back, or, you know, wiggle your way and climb up top, or maybe there's an underpath you can take. there was so much more flexibility in your approach that I felt it was a lot more of a genuine experience and a lot more organic to just do it yourself as a Let's Play and subsequently have viewers do that. You know, Ashen's the kind of game where there's so much freedom that I don't feel a walkthrough makes sense. It's like doing a walkthrough for something like Skyrim. So keep that in mind. Moving forward, if I feel a game warrants a walkthrough, I'll probably do a Let's Play of it first, and then I'll do a walkthrough. But it's obviously going to be a case-by-case basis, and the majority of content is going to end up being Let's Plays type stuff and then guides. So now that we've covered the types of content, the streams, the games we're going to cover, one thing that's new to the channel, which I'm going to be kind of slow rolling out, I've been debating about this for a while, and I'm not sure how it'll go, but you know, you don't know until you try it. I am going to be adding anime coverage into the content that I upload on the channel. Now, I know you're probably like, whoa, anime? What the fuck? Where is this coming from? For those of you that have followed me for a while, you know I'm an absolute huge weeb. I mean, the whole build video set for Monster Hunter, every single build started off with like an anime voice line clip. I watch way more anime than anyone my age probably should. And in a sense, you could almost say I'm an otaku. You know, I play Magic, I play tons of games, I watch anime. I mean, I basically hit like the triforce of being the ultimate nerd. And I watch so much anime, and people are always, you know, we discuss it a lot on stream, and I figure, why not? I could work anime coverage into the channel. And, you know, so we're going to see how it goes. So moving forward, the channel will be, you know, a big old mix of games and anime, which I feel can kind of go hand in hand. You know, I know a lot of people that if you like games, you usually like anime too. I know people that like games and absolutely hate anime. But the channel isn't going to go full-blown Weeaboo Jones. The plan for the anime coverage is what I'd like to do is do a video basically looking at my like most anticipated animes each season. So like here's the upcoming titles for 2019 that I'm looking forward to, like you know, the 2019 spring lineup. This is what I'm going to be watching. And then the stuff that I really like, probably do a like initial impressions type thing, like looking at the first episode. Here's what I feel with the show. Here's where I think it could go. We'll see where it goes. And then the stuff that's really good, probably bring it on home with a full-blown review. So I'm not sure how the anime stuff will go. For those that are familiar with anime, you know we go in seasons. You know, we have the spring lineup, the summer lineup, the fall lineup, the winter lineup. So likely what I'll do is a full round of coverage for kind of the late winter, spring lineup for anime. And we'll see how things go with covering it. If you guys are receptive to it, I'll keep it up. If by the summer it seems like no one cares about my anime coverage, then fuck it. You know, we'll just kind of sweep it under the rug as something we tried that didn't work out. But I think that covers everything. I know, God, this is a long rant. I feel like a lot of people that do these videos, they clip and they'll edit, and if you misspeak or do something, you know, they just whoop, cut the video, where you go. And I'm so ADD, I can't do that. I feel like I have to do it in one 18-minute long perfect go. I have to cover everything that's on my mind. I can't clip it or anything. I feel like I probably should, you know. It would make a lot of sense to clip it. Some other things to close out on. A couple of you guys have been asking what were my top games of 2018. In no particular order: Monster Hunter World, God of War, Assassin's Creed Odyssey, Spooderman, and then Slay the Spire. Kind of a smash hit. You could actually argue that Magic the Gathering is in there, but it's still beta, so I'm counting that in my 2019 pool. But that's going to be it for now, guys. Like I said, we have a lot of titles coming up. Cover the type of content we're going to be doing. Going to be working in some anime stuff. I'm actually thinking my first anime video will probably be a review of Goblin Slayer, which just wrapped up, that I have some pretty spicy thoughts related to. But either way, we are going to close things out here. So if you're watching this before the new year, have a great New Year's Eve. If you're watching this in 2019, let's have a killer fucking year. We're starting the year off hitting 500,000 subs. 500,000 fucking people follow this ridiculous channel. That's amazing to me. It's baffling that there are 500,000 people that want to listen to me rant about video games and anime and watch walkthroughs. And there's really no words to like describe how that feels. It makes you kind of feel like a rock star, which is it's a really cool feeling. But anyway, if I go any longer, I'm gonna just start devolving into nothingness. So I am gonna close out things here. But for this week, just because there's no real game content, stuff on the channel will be kind of slow. I'll probably roll out a couple of Magic the Gathering guides. I don't want to do too much just because towards the end of January, we actually have a new block. The Ravnica Allegiance block is going to drop, which will completely mix up a lot of the decks. But I'll probably do 2 or 3 videos on just some decks that I really like, some fun jank that I've been enjoying a lot of. So either way, thanks for coming by. Hope you guys enjoyed the update. Let me know your thoughts down below. Is there a game that you want to see covered that I didn't mention? What do you think about me adding anime into the channel? Is it too weeb? Are you anti-anime and you're gonna run off and say fuck this guy, I'm never watching him again? Or are you excited for it and you already got your waifu pillow propped up and you're telling her about the news? Either way, I want to hear from you guys. So let me know down in the comments below, and I will catch you guys in 2019 with more content than your body has room for.